Get a Bill in Colchester, a new caller to the show. Good evening, Bill.
Yeah, Nigel, it's just, why is it, Nigel, that we're not all of us, sieging Westminster? Cameron come out with this nonsense. He thought that we was all going to hop along like sheep and take us back into his scheme of destroying Britain's sovereignty. The people voted out. They voted out. They didn't care what the Europeans had to say. They didn't care about all the threats. They didn't care about all the terrible things that would happen to us. We voted out. It was a yes or no, because when these backbenchers started to say they wasn't satisfied with this section of the European Convention, and they wasn't satisfied with certain elements. He said, "I'm getting bored with the whole thing," because he thought he was going to get a landslide. It gave us the opportunity, and we said we don't want it. We want out of it. What they're doing, Nigel, they've got total contempt for us. They've had contempt for the British public for years. They did when they had the MP's expenses. They thought, who are you to decide what our expenses are? They've lived eye on the hog by ignoring the wishes of the British people, and they just think that we're fools and idiots. We voted out. I don't see there's anything to debate, Nigel. We want out. We went across there. We got ourselves in terrible debt to fight a Second World War. We hadn't finished paying that instalment back until recently. Now they're telling us
That's true. That's true, Bill. But, our political class were all signed up to the European project, and you're quite right to say the referendum result was a very big shock to them. So are you, I get the feeling you're beginning to get quite angry about this, Bill.
Nigel, they ain't going to... They're using every scheme they can to tell us we can't leave. The idea is soften us up for a second referendum so that they can then say, that's it, that's the end of it, you voted to stay in. It's disgusting what they're doing to us, Nigel. I'm surprised there hasn't been a rebellion in this country. I mean, what is it? Are the British people so used to being browbeated that they're frightened now?
I think
fear against them.
I think for the moment, Bill, I think that Leavers are giving the government the benefit of the doubt, but I agree with you in the sense that I think that patience is beginning to wear a little bit thin. And so, Bill, presumably, you agree with me that Rees-Mogg and the other 61 backbench Tory MPs are exactly right to say to the Prime Minister that during the transition period, we've got to get on with the rest of our lives.
Yeah, there's people, Nigel, I'm sure you're aware of, believe in conspiracies that they're trying to make it so untenable that when Corbyn gets elected, this will all be undone. That's what they're after doing. I mean, that's a conspiracy theory that's going on around the political, sphere at the moment.
If the transition period, Bill, lasts much longer than is planned already, and the government today appearing to accept that it could go on for a long time, Chuka Umunna saying perhaps they want it to be there indefinitely, you could get a Labour Party winning the next election and effectively keeping us part of the single market and the customs union. So there is a great risk, there is a great danger of that. Bill, I get the message. Theresa May, get on with it. Bill has had enough. He's angry. How does Steve in Rickmansworth feel? Good evening, Steve.
Hi there, Nigel. I feel the same as the last guy, very much so, but I've got a solution for all this. If we don't get what we want... You there?
Yep. Yeah, I'm listening.
Yeah, if we don't get the 17.5 million of us that voted to leave, and now there's probably 18.5 million, most of the people I know have changed their minds. If we don't get what we want, Nigel, it's quite simple. I, for one, will stop paying tax. I won't tax my car. I'll park anywhere I want. I will not uphold law and order. I will throw my litter everywhere. And they can fill the prisons with people like us. We'll bankrupt the country. It's as simple as that. It will be just like the OAS in France.
So civil disobedience, Steve.
Yes, I'm a law-abiding citizen. I haven't got a criminal record, and I will get a criminal record. I honestly don't care. I feel this strongly about it. The guy before, and you've always been right, and so's Jacob. But no, that's my view. I will not pay any more tax. I will. I live on a canal boat. I'll probably leave half the locks open and empty the canal. I really won't care about what I do, and that's how strong I think about it. Seriously, Nigel. Honestly,
no, well, no. Listen, this is. I mean, in a way, this is not the sort of thing the British do very often, is it?
Well, you wait and see. If anyone's seen The Day of the Jackal with Edward Fox, a 70s film, that's what we're going to need. We're going to need hitmen to sort these people out, because I tell you now, I'm not going to rest.
Steve, I've got to stop you there. We can't allow the advocacy of hitmen to be aired without being challenged and shot down. But your point about civil disobedience is a very interesting one, because when Margaret Thatcher introduced the poll tax, we saw quite large-scale civil disobedience, and you know what? It ended the poll tax, and it helped to end Thatcher too, didn't it?
Yes, it is. Correct. Absolutely correct. I'm a law-abiding citizen. I've had shotgun licences. I'm not a criminal. I've had a few parking tickets. That's about me. But I feel this strongly about it. And everybody knows what's going on. It's a conspiracy theory. It's not a conspiracy theory. It's absolutely true. Lord Adonis, Tony Blair, Nick Clegg, etc., Kenneth Clark, etc., 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 etc. They're all trying to keep us in, and the worse it goes for us, the more chance we'll stay in. But they just don't realise a lot of my friends feel exactly the same, Nigel. I'm not joking.
No, Steve, I wrote over a year ago a newspaper article in which I said, do not underestimate the anger of the silent majority in this country if you betray Brexit. So I understand what you're saying. I've just never heard anybody express it in terms as strongly as you just did.